Hello. You're muted again. Still. Hey guys, welcome back to Talk It Out Tuesday. So for today, we talked with our creative consultant and our mom, and she suggested us talking about online school because pretty much everyone is in it. Everyone has some experience surrounding it, So yeah. So Keeleen, what were your first impressions of online school? Yeah.
I don't really care, to be honest. I mean, the school part itself, being online, isn't terrible. I listen probably just as much as I would listen in class. But I think the social aspect of not, and the accountability of not going to class is where I suffer. Because now I'm in the comfort of my own home or own space. And so while I wasn't always paying attention in class, I'm definitely not paying attention at home. But I think, yeah, going to class, like seeing your classmates, seeing your friends, seeing your professor, there's a little bit of that accountability and reminder to actually like do your work and do it well and make sure you're somewhat paying attention. But like being in person, you're automatically retaining a lot. Now, just through a computer screen, it's definitely through one ear out the other, or stops at the screen and it doesn't go into my brain. So like even when I was in class, would I be on my phone? Would I be doing other things on my laptop, homework? Yeah, but I was still retaining knowledge because I would hear the like professor talking to me, and it was like in person, so you were like physically there. But now it's all through screen, and so it's not the best. It doesn't personally bother me, but for my education purposes, it's not great.
For my first impression, when I heard that we were like going online, I was like, okay, like most of our schoolwork was like basically already online. Like we would have like obviously like handouts and stuff, but most of it was on the computer and we would have to do it on the computer from home anyway, like for homework anyway. So I was like, okay, like shouldn't be too bad. But definitely last spring was probably like my like best experience with online learning because it was just so easy and simple. We already knew our teachers, we knew their teaching styles. And so it wasn't too hard of a transition for me. And I like doing things at my own pace. Like I would have like a schedule where I did like 3 days of school and then like the rest I had like free time because I finished it all in 3 days. So I really liked at least last spring semester of it, but yeah, that was my impression of it.
I mean, it sucks because we're really, I mean, I get we usually have online classes and stuff. Like occasionally in college, you'll have online classes or whatever. But I don't know, it's different. And like you could say that you want to pay attention in class because it's something that you're interested in, like your major. And I honestly feel like a lot of my classes I would have loved if they were in person because I don't know, it's just that personal connection being there. Where now it's online, so it's kind of like there's a screen blocking y'all, and so it's like there's other ways to get by, and so you don't really have to like attain, what is it? Attain the knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where I was gonna go next. Like, what are some like pros and cons? And we'll start with cons first because I feel like they're very easy to think of.
Yeah. I think the loss of lack of connection. I've definitely gotten, huh? I've gotten smarter in the ways of how to get by,
Mm.
but I've gotten dumber
And
in my educational knowledge. Not kidding. Anyways, so cons, definitely the personal connection and accountability. Not being able to actually focus because your teacher be like, I can see you through the screen, and be like, yeah, well, everyone's looking at their screen, so can you really see that I'm not looking at you? How do you know I'm looking at you and not the other people in my class? You would never know. Anyways, I don't know. Do you have any?
um I think having like spending 8 hours on the computer is like tiring too, and like just sitting there, like at least we'd get up and like move from our desk to go eat lunch with our friends or something, you know? But now I'm still sitting, still doing homework for like the entire day. So I think that's a big one for me. Also, like, yeah, like the personal connection too, like just having those like class friends, you know, that you meet and like you become good friends with. Like, I miss just meeting people in class.
Yeah. My procrastination was already bad, but it's significantly gotten worse.
Mm.
Like before, I would do my homework in class, like kind of be productive because if I'm out and about, I might as well do it, you know?
Yeah.
But now, sometimes I'll do it in class, sometimes I'll just do it like the, the day before, the day it's due, just pound it out. Like I need that deadline now to like push me to do it. It's really sad, but whatever.
Yeah. That's
Hey, I'm getting good grades, that's all that matters.
yeah.
This is not advice for anyone, this is just what I'm going through.
I also miss like just like getting to know teachers and stuff because like before like just like staying after class and just like talking with them or them just like asking about your day and that kind of stuff. Like now like I haven't even seen any of my teachers in person. Like I
Right.
had one from like freshman year and I know him like pretty well, but like all the other teachers I'm like I've never even seen them ever. It's
I
weird.
mean, even in college, it's kind of hard to really get to know your professors at times, but I think the classmates is a huge one because, like, you would talk about like your weekend or like what your plans are, how you're doing on that paper, or like collaboration wise. But now it's like you could email them and try, but like you don't even talk because you don't even introduce yourself in class, you know, because everyone's just on the screen. So it's really hard. I get it. I mean, it's part of the time, so thank goodness we have technology to do this stuff. Um, and we're able to still have class and have school and get by, but at the same time, it does suck. I think last spring semester it was cool just because like when we first hit COVID, it was cool because we already had those relationships and jumping into this was like fun for everyone, you know? You could kind of like do your own thing. Teachers were lenient. You were able to kind of enjoy this virtual learning. But then I think it hit everyone last fall where we're like, oh crap, this actually kind of sucks. Like it's like hard and now having another semester of it, we're like, dang.
Yeah, and now like for me, we're preparing for like AP tests, and
Oh
we don't
yeah.
know if they're gonna be online or in person or half and half yet.
Yeah.
So just not knowing like, because the tests are different like either way. So like not knowing how to study, what like we're supposed to, where we're supposed to go, like all that kind of stuff is it's kind of different. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the pros to online learning.
I think they definitely changed, like I said before. Originally, it was the flexibility. It was, yeah, the kind of, the flexibility of time. Not all your classes were synchronous, so you can kind of do it when you wanted to, not go to class, kind of figure your own thing out. But now I feel like everyone's is pretty much synchronous. So you're sitting at your computer at least 2 to 4 hours a day, give or take. Some people are more. Like I have 2 times. I'm at a have to do math. I'm at my thing for 6 hours a day, like 9 a.m. to 3:30, and so that's like a full day of classes for me. I'm sitting at a computer, and so like at one time I think it was flexibility. Now it's the pro is not that, because it's not that anymore. That's a con. I think now the pro is like the convenience. It's just right there. You roll out of your bed and just press the button on.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that like for me, like now I can wake up at 5 a.m. on my own and like have this whole routine before school starts. And I really like that because I get to like get a nice start to my day and then like I have class in like 2 minutes, like let's log on. And then also, I think just like online learning itself just seems like easier. Like you're obviously like isolated and stuff, but I think it's easier for at least like most of my classes. Like they've changed the tests and stuff. Before, like we'd have to like memorize every single word of every definition. Now it's just a multiple choice test because it's hard to like know if like students are cheating and stuff. So now everything's just like
But
easier.
then at the same time, I don't know if that's going to be helpful or worse for the future, especially moving forward, because we're going to get so used to being able to use your surroundings and like, kind of just like teachers had to make it easier because they can't help if you cheat or not. Like there's no way. And so they just dumbed it down. And so for future, I wonder if that's going to make our lives easier or harder.
That's the thing. Like I think my teachers kind of figured out. Like for them, they like for Canvas, you can't use your like browse. You can't like exit the tab basically. Otherwise, they'll give you a 0 for the test. And then like also
But
they
can you have two screens open?
no, you can't.
Really?
Like if you call me like on FaceTime like during a test, they'll count that as 0
How
because
do you know?
it's a notification popping up on your screen. Something else is popping on your screen. That means that like that you base they like yeah the system like knows like everything. So I have to like totally like yeah
Turn
or
off
for
your
like Discord they have like lockdown browsers and then they can like search like your IEP addresses for your house to know like if other like if Jace is like searching up like something related to the topic of my like test, then they'll know and they'll like count they'll like minus points because
I
they
heard that Zoom, is it true that Zoom can also tell if you're using other sources?
I mean I've seen that on TikTok, but like it's also TikTok, you know? So I don't know. But then
Well, sucks to suck for all you Canvas users.
I know. And then also teachers have like minimize the time for like each test. So we have like a minute to like 30 seconds for each question. So we can't look up every answer or like, that kind of stuff. So I think they're trying as much as they can. Like it's hard, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think the pro in general is convenience, because that's pretty much it. Because I don't think I'm actually remembering anything I'm learning or hearing. I'm
yeah.
not, I'm doing well in my classes, but am I doing like well? No. Like I'm just getting by. Doing well in the class, but just getting by to get well in the class. Like. So I don't, it's like, at first, I think online school was super good, but now it's kind of just
Yeah.
not.
I mean, it's kind of like the thing where like you want what you can't have. Like last year we loved it. We had everything like but then we also were like sad. We're like, "Oh, like we're not in school." And then now we're like I just want to go back to spring
Yeah.
again.
But I think it's also kind of our ways of online school have shifted.
Yeah.
You know, where it was like before something that we could all like kind of like enjoy, but now it's like school, but actually online, and it's just a pain.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then what are some things that you think that you've learned from like from online school? Because like for me, like the first semester, I'll admit, like I was downstairs in that room. I can say like I was on my phone for like 5 of the 6 hours I was in my classes, just like on either like TikTok, Instagram, literally doing anything else. Because I was like, it felt like way too optional. Like it was like a podcast running in the background, and I was like, whatever. And like it showed in my grades, and I was like, why am I doing bad? Like I was in class, like I was listening. But then I feel like this semester I really just like decided to focus and stuff. And I mean, so far it's been paying off, and I'm like, wait, like it could have been like this the whole time. Like it's like boring, yes, it's like kind of awful, but like I think that if honestly we just really focus and like put those distractions away, it's possible.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm just in general a visual learner. We know that when I have to follow a map and directions, I need to see what the map looks like. And same thing in school. I think being asynchronous with last semester is really hard for me because we would have to watch videos and I can't do that. I can't watch an hour and a half lecture on YouTube. Like that's not possible. But if you think about it, we are still kind of doing that, but just live on Zoom. Um, but I think having other people interact in class, like even though I don't really talk because I just don't talk in class, having other people like ask questions or like check in, I think that helps me kind of pay attention still. Do I still get distracted, do other homework, and clean my house during Zoom? Uh-huh. But I think for me it was easier to be in person because even though I was doing those things in person, I don't know, is the person's like right there, you know? Where now it's like, yes, they're right there, but like they're not. Um, and so me just being a visual learner, I think it's nice to see people on the screen or like my teacher showing me us the slides because I don't do well when the teacher just reads the slides and press a button, but which some of my classes are because they can't help it. But yeah, I think it's a choice. I'm not saying I'm making the right choice before or now, but it is a choice whether you want to focus and tune into what you're doing or, yeah, just kind of listen and not really attain anything. But yeah, I don't know. What have I learned? Definitely it's a choice. But I don't know. I always keep telling all my friends, like, college has honestly taught me how to do well in life settings, like how to be independent, how to kind of do my own thing, how to grow up a little, and how to like use my resources. Has college really made me smarter educationally wise? Like, no, no, definitely not. But it has taught me to be wise in the things I do and how I approach things. Yeah.
There you go. That's all you need. But I do want to say, like, I didn't know how much like work it was for the teachers, like until like we went like full on like online and stuff. Like they have to do so much, and I like feel
Yeah.
bad because like we're like complaining like we're on the computer like so long every day, and they're on there just as long talking about the same things. Like it's like hard
Yeah.
for the teacher, and like also like for parents, I think elementary especially is like super difficult. Like killing can
I think college and high school, you can even maybe even middle school, you can get away with doing online learning. You're mature enough, you're old enough, you're responsible enough to kind of do your work and do it well, and choose when you need to focus and when you know your limits and you know what you have to do. But for elementary, it sucks because part of that interaction, personal interaction, running around with your friends, trying things, falling down, all that stuff is part of their development and growing up and learning. But being cut off and now having to sit here and do this is totally disrupting and hurting their ability to learn. Because if you think about it now, us sitting here and hearing our teachers talk, but not really absorbing it, that's different because we are able to kind of turn it on and off. But as them being so young, they can't do that yet. So as soon as they see a toy they like, that's where their brain goes. And nothing that the teacher is saying is being heard whatsoever until they get called out. But like the teacher can't ever really tell because there's so many of them. And so I really feel for elementary kids and younger or whatnot, because it sucks, because that's the experience part, and that physical part is so much of their learning and how they like absorb information and how they learn, and they can't get that with being online, and it's not their fault, it's just how the times are, but it's like a crucial part for them.
Yeah. And I feel like, yeah, just like the social aspect for them, like that's so hard because like that's where, like, yes, you learn like the fundamentals, like adding and like reading and stuff, but like you learn how to interact with your teachers, with your like peers, with your family members. And so I feel like, yeah, that's really hard on them, especially.
And they're not comfortable in their own spaces, and so there's no responsibility or respect in the sense, because it's only the parents, and there's no teacher who's gonna discipline them for not listening to them, or not discipline them for doing their work however they should, it's just the parents trying to do what the teacher says, but it's different. And so yeah, it's gonna be, hopefully they can go back sooner than later, but those next teachers who have to teach them have a big curve to like really get them back on track, because they're falling behind dramatically. Maybe not like in the learning sense of like how to read or spell or math, but like in the other aspects of life, the ability to actually learn, they're really falling behind.
That's all I had. Do you have anything you want to add? I've gotten to be a better typer. That's pretty much it.
That's good.
Thanks.
Dude, my lips are so chapped. It's bad. That's why if you watch this video again, I'm gonna be like this. Because they're so chapped. Anyways. Well, that was this week's Talk It Out Tuesday on online learning. We hope you enjoyed. Let us know. Either DM us, text us, talk to us, comment, whatever you would like, on what we should talk about. We're really open to anything. If you watched our last one, it was on like dating and relationships. This one, 2 ones ago, and then we did a Q&A about random things, and this one's about school. But like, please let us know what you want to hear. We're really open to talk about pretty much anything, and so let us know. But yeah, with that being said, this has been Talking About Tuesday. I'm Keeleen.
I'm Lindsay.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.